Hello dear friends, welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We are painting a Valentine's Day themed card today, and it's inspired by Aquarelle Emmy, which I will include in the description as I do with my references. It is so cute. It's a hot air balloon that is shaped in the shape of a heart. So it's a heart hot air balloon. So I'm going to first pencil out my design because in order to make it look like a balloon, we have to draw our heart a little bit differently than just like what I'm doing right now. I mean, by all means, you're welcome to just do a regular heart. That would probably be very cute. But if we want to make it look like a balloon, then we have to do something a little different. So the first thing I want you to keep in mind when you're sketching this out, and this is just a pencil, I'm just using a pencil, is the point of your heart should be a little more pointed than I would personally like it to be. And that's because we're going to have those strings coming out that are going to attach to our little, what do you call this, basket. So I'm just trying to do a 3D cube here. So it's pretty simple. And as for the balloon part, like you can do whatever design you want, but to make it look most balloon-like, I'm going to try and do it in these stripes as my reference has. And basically each striped section is going to be kind of rounded at the top. So your next section is going to be rounded like this, but you want to taper your sections to make it look more 3D. So they'll all come together in the center. Like this. And I'm gonna have like one, maybe I'll paint, okay, so this point here went down a little bit too much, like it's too deep. So I made it a little bit more shallow. And this will be kind of like this. I think I have to adjust my, this was a little too thick. My stripes, my sections. Now, I purposely picked a tutorial for which I do not need to use the hairdryer because usually I paint 4 tutorials at a time ever since my baby was born. I used to do like a whole month's worth at a time and it'd just take a whole day and do that, but obviously that's not possible anymore. So I film 4 at a time on weekends while my husband looks after her. And today is a Friday, so he's obviously not here. He's at work. And my baby is sleeping. So I am trying to just like, if I could finish this tutorial, I will be very happy because that means I'll only have to do 3 tomorrow or even finish them tonight. We'll see. But once we've sketched out our sections, remember to round them out at the top to make it look more balloon-like. The thing is now we want to erase it so that it's dark enough so that we can see the individual sections, but it's light enough so that it doesn't show through the watercolor. So that's still pretty dark. but I think I'll just use like a darker red or whatever on the outside so it doesn't show as much as I keep erasing. I'm okay with that. You can probably not see it very well, but I can see it well enough to paint this. So I'm just picking out my brushes here. I'm going to be using a few different sizes. I'm going to start with my size 00 and just see how that goes. But we're going to use pink, or you can use red. It really doesn't matter, but we're going to alternate how dark they are. So this first, shoot, I can't really see it because I erased the pencil mark too much. Whoops. Yeah, so don't do what I did because I can't really see the outline. I gotta switch to my 00. Sorry, I started out with my size 8. But realized that it's definitely too big. So one thing that I actually would have already done differently is I would have done my lighter colors first, because we're going to do like dark light for the different sections, because if you make a mistake with the light color, you can always paint over it with the dark. So it wouldn't be as big of a deal. Whereas now, if I make a mistake, like it'll be very apparent. And so because of that, I am gonna just switch to doing the light color first, going forward here. So I'm just taking my larger brush to pick up pink, and then I am going to, actually, I'm going to mix in some nude into that pink to make it kind of very girly pink, like creamy pink. And so it'd be light, dark, light. So I'm gonna do the light one here. So actually, I could use my larger brush just to do kind of the bulk, and then switch to my smaller brush. I definitely erased a little too much, guys, because it's really hard to see my outlines here. So you'll see what I mean with the, oh, okay, that was a little interruption. I don't know if you will actually see that interruption in the final edited tutorial, but I just got a call from my husband that I had to take, and I kept painting even though I paused the video because I'm really nervous that my daughter is gonna wake up, and I just wanna complete this one tutorial. So I've just basically kept filling in the sections, alternating. I went way too far out here, unfortunately. I mean, we could go over with white acrylic paint to fix that. Whoops. Which I think I'll do because it's way too thick down here. And I'll do this section as well because this darker one is dry, and I'm gonna go over the darker one anyway because it is not dark enough now that I've painted on my light one. So yeah. Anyways, Yeah, my husband was calling to update me because in a previous tutorial, I was talking about the fact that we're getting I don't know, do you call it a mantle? It's not a mantle, it's just the wall behind our wood stove. We're just putting this fake brick wall up to kind of tie the living room together, because right now it just looks pretty ugly, because it's just drywall and then this white extension. It doesn't look very nice. It clearly was done in a hurry, and yeah, it doesn't look nice. And I want our living room to be like cozy and kind of tied together. So he was just calling me to update me on the happenings of that, because the first contractor that we had, he was supposed to give us a quote on Monday, and today is Friday. And I sent him a message and I haven't heard back. But he does a really good job, so I get it. He's probably really busy, but I am an impatient person and I would really like this job done. Well, I wanted it done before December, and today is December 1st, so obviously that's not going to happen. But yeah, I wanted it done fairly quickly, so hopefully, oh my goodness, guys. I do stuff like that all the time. It's because I'm rushing, and I shouldn't rush. I should just have patience, which if you're a viewer of mine, you know that's something I don't have. But you really need patience for things like this. Sorry, so what I was saying is I need patience, and just patience to wait until my husband gets home so that he can watch the baby while I film this tutorial. But I don't know, I'm sure other mothers can relate, but I feel really useless when I haven't done anything except take care of my daughter, because I'm a pretty goal-oriented person. So before she was born, I always had just a whole whack of tasks that I would knock out in a day when I had a day off work. And now I often just feel like I'm not doing anything, because it's sometimes really hard to get very much done. Okay, just a quick quick break in my little monologue, but I want to lift off some of this paint in the middle here, because I want this to look like there's a reflection happening. So by taking off some of that paint, it kind of makes this section lighter and will help me achieve that. And I should have done that for these ones, but I kind of forgot because I was distracted. But we'll see what it turns out looking like in the end. So yeah, I'm sure mothers... This was not dry. Oh my goodness. Okay. Guys, it's funny because you always, I get comments so often that are like, oh, we so appreciate that you show all your mistakes and how you fix them. Half of my mistakes are due to impatience. It's very frustrating. So wait until your layers are dry. Don't do what I'm doing. Learn from my mistake. Seeing it like spread here as well, man. So yeah, mothers, I'm sure mothers can relate to feeling not very useful. Or maybe you can't. Maybe that's just it's because I feel really good postpartum. Like I feel complete. My daughter's going to be 3 months old in a few days, and I feel completely normal, like as if I was never pregnant and had never given birth. And I'm very, very, very thankful and grateful for that quick and fairly easy recovery. And because it has been such an easy recovery for me, and a large part of that is due to my incredible husband who, took 5 weeks off and was just a superhero running around doing absolutely everything. But because I've healed up so nicely, I feel totally normal. And so I feel kind of useless when I can't do anything with that normal feeling. Like I can't go about my day normally because my child is crying and has needs that I obviously have to tend to. And I try to not complain as much because I recognize that I am so lucky. We are so lucky as a family to have that the birth went well. I got my home birth, that we have a healthy daughter, and a lot of people don't get that luxury. And oh my gosh, it's still not totally dry. Guys, this is killing me. Like, I am gonna have a little moment here. I'm gonna have to go over that somehow and fix that because let me just take some paper towel here and dry that like that. I can't take my hair dryer out because it'll 100% wake my daughter. Even though the door to the bathroom is closed. Oh my god, it's still bleeding. Oh. This is extremely frustrating if you have not picked that up in my voice. I'm having like 3 different conversations here at once, and I don't remember what I was saying before I got frustrated for the 5th time. Was I talking about how I sometimes feel useless? That's probably what I was talking about. Oh, right, I was talking about how grateful we are. Yes, and that really hit home because last week, one of my husband's friends, they went on a hike together, and he knows this famous YouTube couple that does like lifestyle vlogs or content. And so I was asking how I've never met them in person, but I feel like I know them because I've been watching them for so many years on YouTube. But I asked him how they are because he does work for them. And he was like, oh, you haven't heard? And no, we hadn't heard because they haven't made it public yet. But by the time you see this video, like, I'm not even going to say who they are, but by the time you see this video, I'm sure they will have already announced it, since this video is going to be released in like 2.5 months. But yeah, she has like 3 different types of cancers. And when he told me that, I went speechless because I can't imagine. I cannot imagine going through that. And she's pregnant, or was pregnant, and they had to apparently pull the baby out early, and that's tragic. It's tragic listening to that. And so in those moments, it's really easy to be grateful for, the situation that you're in, but sometimes it's hard to remember to be grateful when you're like in the thick of a crying infant at 3 a.m. So I'm trying to remind myself of how lucky we are to be in the position that we're in, that we have our health, that we have each other, that we have a healthy daughter. And yeah, it's important to be aware of that and remind ourselves of that. And because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. And it's really important to practice gratitude, especially during this time. I'm filming this December 1st. I think I said that already. But it's the holiday season, and I think the holiday season is an especially important time to practice gratitude. So, yes, I am just lifting off from those middle sections just to create more of a 3D effect, because it looks like some light is glaring off the center and it makes it look rounded. So that actually didn't turn out too bad. It's kind of annoying that my acrylic paint is in the other room because I don't want to open the door, because even opening the door is going to wake my daughter up of the bathroom. So I'm gonna just leave this for now. And what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? I'm kind of tempted to go over these darker layers again, because I might do that after, because you saw me go over this one, so you know what that's like, and it's pretty straightforward, but I don't want to waste time on that. I'd rather just complete this in case my daughter starts crying. So, what are we gonna do here? I'm gonna grab like a brown or black, like this color doesn't really matter. You can make your basket whatever color you want, but I'm just gonna paint the basket here. Like so. It looks like a swamp color. Not a fan of that. I know, oops. I know I said that you can paint it whatever color you want, which you can, but the color I chose was swamp, and that is not the official name, by the way, for all you viewers that are super adamant about me including the name of my paints, which I do not plan to do on this channel. So yeah, you're just painting a little cube. Like so. Ta-da, okay. Now, ideally, we would like to wait for that to dry, but you know me, Julia's not waiting. So let me see. So now we're gonna have strings. So there's gonna be like a meeting point right there. I might just go like super close so you can see. There's gonna be a meeting point here where we have the strings coming down from the balloon, meeting with the strings of the basket. Well, I hope it's not strings. I hope that whatever is holding it is a little sturdier. So I'm gonna have a string kind of coming down from every section here, I think. I don't think this really has to be that precise. It's kind of painting this balloon reminds me of when I went hot air ballooning in Southeast Asia. And I don't want to say I was nervous, because at that point I was like almost a year into my travels, so I was pretty desensitized to things going wrong. But you know, the tourism in that country is not exactly regulated. So I saw videos in like Thailand of the person operating the hot air balloon just not knowing what they're doing and it going into trees. So obviously that did not happen. I am still here. I am alive. But that is what I think about while painting this. Okay, I really want to join these. You're gonna have obviously 4 strings coming down to each corner in this basket, but I'm nervous. That that basket is not dry. And obviously I don't want sorry, I didn't even finish my thought. I don't know what I was saying. I do want to paint the inside of this like a light tan color because obviously the basket is not see-through. But again, I'm going to wait for that because this is not dry yet. But my daughter is still sleeping, so I'm just going to keep going. I think I'm going to go over these sections again. I'm really tempted to do so. So I'm going to zoom out. Or maybe I'll just go over this one, just the outside here. So I'm just kind of loading up on my colors and going over this section. So I am gonna later, probably off screen, like I'm not gonna film it, but I am just gonna take white acrylic paint and go over this tiny little edge there that you see sticking out. Again, I don't want to wake my daughter by going and getting the thing that I need. Sorry, the acrylic paint, obviously. So I'm just picking up that paint in the center. Very nice. This is turning out a lot nicer than I had anticipated. Especially after what happened over here, that actually kind of isn't an issue anymore. Okay. So I think this is sufficiently dry. Probably not, actually. But I'm gonna give this a whirl anyway. I just watered down brown and I'm filling that in with a nice tan color. So that it's not white. See, and this would be like literally a 25-second blow dry, and then I could add those black lines coming down here, but I just, you already know my excuse. So I'm just talking to fill in the time while I wait for it to dry. You can also take actually a fine tip marker if you want and, you know, draw on those lines. That's completely acceptable as well. But either way, you'd have to wait for that basket to dry in order to do that. I think my corners are dry, so I will attach the 3 sides of my basket, and I just need to attach this one as well. So, you know what, I'm not even gonna wait for that to dry, because you, like, line, just a black line. And then that's basically it. If you want, you can add a, like a holiday greeting. I thought it was really cute that my reference added "love is in the air." That's a really cute saying. I might Photoshop that onto here. But yeah, that is basically our tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next tutorial.